All right, party people. Hey, you're watching Bull Boom Bear Bust. My name is JJ, back with another dose of economic reality. And I've been away for a couple days, and I'm glad I'm back. Thank you for being here. Let's get right into it. We said 2024 was going to be a wild, wild year, and I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg as far as the things that are going to be popping off, so to speak, this year. We're going to see a lot of big names come out in the news, if you know what I mean. And I have to be very careful about what I talk about here. But was it crazy enough with what we witnessed over the last 24 to 48 hours? Was it crazy enough to bring the markets down? No, the markets are still, well, not too deep in the red, mostly in the green here as I'm recording this. I'm looking at futures actually, by the way. But what do we have? We have the Diddy saga, with the raid, Diddy being involved in a lot of bad stuff, and that's going to go way up the ladder, so to speak. I mean, he's a very big name, but when this news gets out, if the full story gets out, you're going to be amazed at some of the people involved in this. And this is what I've been talking about in 2024 that we're going to see. We're going to continue to see these shocking things come forward. Now, to me, it's not shocking because I kind of knew about all this stuff. Of course, we can't really talk about it, but um, talk about it in a certain way, right? So we got to be very vague, if you know what I mean. Also, the bridge thing, was it a hack? We saw that the power went out on this cargo ship that crashed into the bridge, and I said there's going to be a year of attacks and hacks, and it's going to be supply chain disruptions again, 2.0, as some people would call it. So get ready, folks, because it's going to get a lot worse. And at some point, things are going to get so crazy that I think it will have an impact on even the stock market. Just like 2020, we saw the stock market take a deep dive. And of course, it was pumped back up very quickly with trillions of liquidity created out of thin air and pumped into the into the system, into the economy. But it did come down briefly. It was a good point to buy. Actually, I still have some of my oil stocks that I picked up when oil hit zero, which was insane. Never thought I'd see that, but it happened. And if you're ready for this type of thing, for these shocks, these black swans, and you can actually profit pretty good from them. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's how the market works. That's how investing works, right? You want to buy when no one's buying, but buy when there's blood on the streets, right? When the price comes down. Will we see correction? I'm thinking that, yeah, after some of this news comes out, you're going to see bigger and bigger names involved. Diddy involved with a lot of people, and I'll just let you think about how big this is going to be. A lot of politicians, right? So yeah, a lot of big names are going to be connected to this guy right here. Did he? Did he do it? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Why can't it be simple? Why can't someone just be a musician and just be happy with selling records, getting your song on the radio, having hits, already having millions of dollars? Why do you got to get involved in all this other stuff, all right? All these shenanigans that I'm not allowed to say what it really is. Um, Bands that I grew up with or artists that I grew up listening to uh, weren't accused of stuff like this. Here's one of the bands that I grew up with that I used to listen to a lot. They had their own issues, but certainly none of the issues that we're seeing in today's music industry. And it seems like most of the big artists have signed a deal with some major players that are involved in a lot of bad stuff, right? So I'll just leave it at that. But let's go ahead and get into the other news here because we're going to see a lot of things come out this year, and you need to be ready for it. You need to have some cash ready for the chaos, right? Cash ready for the chaos. And I got a few articles here I wanted to talk about here. We've got more central banks panicking. Sri Lanka cutting interest rates, even though inflation's been between 4 and 5%. Now, some people say, yeah, that's pretty low. They should go ahead and cut rates. Well, that's the official number, folks. When you look at the real numbers and the real cost of living for people, even here in the United States, the inflation number we're given, the CPI, Consumer Price Index, is way off target, way off target. It's about 1/5 of what the real number is compared to the calculations that I've made. Say it's about 1/5, 1/4, 1/5, somewhere in that range. I think it's similar in these other countries. Um, so cutting rates, even when the official number is 4 to 5%, very, very bad sign, folks. That just means that the debt is so high that the banks have nothing else to do but cut rates, even though inflation hasn't been tamed and the people probably don't want the rates cut. But the people have no choice. You have no choice. I have no choice. We have these people over here engineering the economy, and these people engineering the economy, they're wrong most of the time. And you could say maybe they're lying or they're wrong. Either way, it's very bad. Let's say they are just wrong. They're trying their best. When they came out and said inflation was under control, that it was temporary, transitory, when they came out and said those things, they had good intentions. They thought they were correct. You could say that. And if you say that, then okay, they're wrong. So even that's the best case scenario. Even that's very, very bad. These people that get paid a lot of money to run the economy are wrong about something so simple, something that you and I knew was incorrect the day that they put it out a few years ago now. We knew it was incorrect. How could we know? How could we be on top of the economy better than the ones that are paid a lot of money and that get put out there and they give speeches and that everybody listens to what they're going to say? How can that be? Or you could say they weren't incorrect. You could say that they were just lying. Well, that's even worse. That's the worst case scenario, right? So the best case scenario is they thought they were telling us the truth. All right. The worst case scenario is they knew the truth, but yet they told us the opposite. They told us that inflation was tamed, that it was transitory. That's even a worst case scenario, right? So not something good. It doesn't really make you feel good when you kind of look at it like that. When you look at the reality of the situation here. All right. Well, let's go on to some other news here. Stock market record high, even with the bridge situation over in Maryland, even with all the information coming out about some very high level celebrities, and it's not just the rapper producer. It's going to be a lot of shocking people that are going to be exposed this year. And will it be shocking enough to bring the markets down? Right? Yeah, I think something big is going to bring the markets down this year. I'm still standing to my 2024. We don't get out of 2024 without a big, big crisis. And it may not be one big thing that brings this down. It might be a series of things. And be careful. I would just say be careful with your money. Your 401k. Is your 401k all in stocks? Is it all in stocks? Do you know? Do you even know what your money is in your 401k retirement account? If you don't know, shame on you. You should know. If you do know, do you have it in something that's not going to go down when the markets go down? Now, some people are saying, okay, I'm going to stick in there. We got new all-time highs. Nothing going to bring the market down. There's no news or information that's going to come out that's going to bring the market down. Well, just think again to 2020. Yes, it was a brief downturn, but something big and serious enough that comes out will bring the markets down. Um, this year, I think it's going to be different than 2020, but it's going to be even more shocking, I think. All right, it's going to be more shocking. So get ready for that. And please let me know what you think down in the comments. Also, look at this out of Forbes. They're coming out and admitting that real inflation, 20% when you look at it cumulative, not just year over year, but cumulative. And that's even low. But think about this. Inflation's up 20% over the past few years. I think they're going off since 2020. It's really a lot higher than that because that's the official CPI number. Instead of looking at it year over year, it's compounded, right? So what they're doing is showing it's 20%, the CPI number. Why are we talking about rate cuts? Fed's talking about rate cuts when we're still up 20%. Folks, this is insane. This is scary. They're steering us into a cost of living nightmare. I mean, for many, it's already here. Look at the credit card debt. Most people are not able to pay off their debt in full each month when it comes to credit cards. Of course, most people don't pay off their debt because if you count car loans and mortgages and stuff like that, not talking about that. I'm just talking about credit cards alone. Most people now are not able to pay off the credit cards in full each month. That's why we're seeing exploding debt because you have the purchases being put on the lines of credit, but then you have all this interest accumulated on top of that, right? So they're accruing interest at massive levels, and you know, something's going to break. It's either going to be the consumer, it's going to be some big names come out in the news involved in some really bad stuff, and that's going to bring the markets down. Folks, pick your poison, but it's going to be something big, and we're not getting out of 2024 without something massive. All right. Hope you guys like this report. Please let me know what you think down in comments. I'm gonna make this a shorter one today. I'm still a little bit under the weather. I lost a lot of weight. You guys see how skinny my face is now because I've been under the weather. So hope you guys are doing well. I'll be fine. Just gonna rest and hopefully see you on the next video. Hopefully see you back here. Thanks everybody. Keep stacking. Bye for now. Peace.